is just representing your sales process. It is showing the process from where a new lead comes in up until they become a customer. So, what is your sales process? If you know your sales process, you can be able to build a pipeline. So, if a new lead comes in into your business today, what are the next steps you need to do before they can become a customer? That is your sales process. That is your pipeline. So if a new lead is coming in, the next process can be maybe to send an email, or the next process can be to contact them, or the next process can be after contacted, it can be maybe send proposal sent, proposal accepted, then the contract is sent, then the contract is accepted. So you just need to know your sales process before you can be able to build a very good pipeline. And also, we have something called deals in Zoho Bigin. Sometimes are called opportunities, and they're like the potential sales or the project that you're tracking. So if you have anyone that is coming in into your business today and they're like, I'm interested in getting your services, then we create a deal for that person. So we have the pipeline view, and the pipeline view just allows us to be able to view our deals based on the different sales process that we have. As you can see here, we have the first step, which is the qualification. We need to qualify the deal first before we move them to the need analysis, before we move them to the proposal, before we move them to the negotiation and review, before we move them to the closed won or closed lost. Yeah, so this is a very good pipeline, and we can then be able to create a deal that we can put on this pipeline. And as you can see, we can be able to drag each deal and put them into different stages. We can decide that we want to move this deal to negotiation review, or we want to move them to closed one if they become one, or we can move them to closed lost if we want. If you see this pipeline and you do not actually like this pipeline, there is something you can do. You can edit the pipeline, and you can also manage the stages of this pipeline. Or you can even say, you know what, I want to create a new entirely pipeline. So when you want to create a new pipeline, you can click on create, and it's going to take you to this page where it is going to ask you if you want to create this pipeline from scratch or if you want to use a template. It's better to use a template if you are new to pipeline, just to understand how pipeline works, or you can just create from scratch if you know what you are doing. And we can also create a new sub pipeline, and a new sub pipeline just allows us to be able to create a pipeline under a main pipeline. Yeah, I know that's confusing, but a sub pipeline is just like helping us to create new series of stages under the main series of stages. So we can say that we want to create a pipeline for the sales pipeline that we already have, and we can start creating a sub pipeline. But let's create a new team pipeline and just see how it works. So let's say we are picking from a template. We have countless templates we can pick from here. We have the customer support templates. We have the project tracker templates. We have the recruitment. We have the issue tracker. We have the, for industries, we have real estate, where there's a new inquiry, then there's site visit, there's paperwork, there's all of those things. So you can check for whatever industry you are in, and you can create a pipeline for your industry. So you can also say that, you know what, I do not want to create for industry, I want to create for teams. And we want to create for customer support for all of those people that have issues with maybe our products, or those people that have issues with our services. We can create a customer support pipeline for them. And we can decide to use this templates by clicking on use templates. And as you can see, customer support pipeline has been created already. And if you like, you can also edit this new pipeline. You can edit the basic info, like the name of the pipeline. You can also edit that the record is going to be called ticket. You can say, instead of using tickets, you can say complaints, or you can say issues, or just use whatever you want, or problems or challenges. You can use whatever you want. And instead of naming this customer support, you can name it whatever you want, and you click on save. And when you click on save, that has been added. And you can also edit the permission for this pipeline. You can say that you only want basic users to be able to have access to this pipeline. So we can decide who the organizer should be and who is going to be managing this pipeline. And we can also decide who can view the records of this pipeline. We can decide who can create, view, and edit their own records only in this pipeline, and we can also decide that we want to this person to only view. So all you need to do is just to select users for each of these stages, and you can be able to put that user in. Or you can even use profile. You can decide that only the admin should be the organizers of this pipeline, and you can decide that only the sales rep should be the participants. So that means only the sales rep can delete their own record, and they do not have access to other users record. So if you're a participant, it means that you are only going to have access to view and edit your own record, and you cannot view and edit another person's record. So if we have sales rep, you can use sales rep for this. And for members is only going to allow you to view, but you can also create and edit and delete only their own record, but they can view all of the records in the pipeline, not only their own, even other people's own, but they can only edit their own. So you can use standard for this. For managers, you can say that only these people can view and edit and delete record in this pipeline, but they cannot manage and customize it. So we do not want to make any changes to the pipeline, but they can create and edit record. So you can use maybe administrator for that. So you can select whatever profile or whatever user you want to do. And when you are done, you just click on save. And when you click on save, that is going to edit your permission. So now you have to be very careful of whatever permission you are putting in, because whatever you put in is going to affect the whole organization. So when you put in those permission in, it is going to have effect immediately. So you want to make sure you are doing the right thing before you start doing it. So when you click on this button again, you can be able to manage the stages. So we have the different stages in here. We have the open stage and we have the closed stage for this pipeline. So the closed stage is the one for closed, deferred, not an issue. We can also decide that you want to add in another stage in this open stage. So we can add in something like qualified, and we can click on this green check and box, and we can just click on that, and that is going to add that stage in there. We can then decide to drag this and just drop it in anywhere you want. The same thing applies for the closed stage. We can decide to add another option for the closed stage if we want. We can add in closed one and closed lost. But since this is a customer support pipeline, there is nothing like closed one or closed lost, because it is not a deal. So we are just going to leave that in, and when we are done with adjusting all of the pipeline, we can then click on done. So when we click on done, that is going to add in the new stage qualification, and you can also customize the field. You can decide that you want to add any other field you want to add in here. Even from your custom fields, you can add that in. So we can say if we have the sub pipeline stages, you can also say that we can want to drag in all of these fields from the custom field into this place here. So when you are done with adding whatever field you want to add, so for instance, let's add in the start date. We can say this is the start date for working on the ticket, or we can add in the type of the ticket if we have created that. We can also add in the next step for the ticket. And when you are done with adding all of this custom field, you can then, if you take a look at your Zoho Begin processes and you feel that there's something wrong, or there is a particular feature that you do not understand, or there is something that is going on but you cannot actually figure out what is wrong, we offer comprehensive audits for your Zoho Begin account. We are going to look at everything that is working and everything that is currently not working, and how we can help you fix all of those things that are currently not working in your Zoho Begin account. You can book your comprehensive audit in the link in the description, and also do not forget to like this video and also share to everyone you think might need this video, and also subscribe to this channel. Guys, we are currently at 94 subscribers, and that is quite low for the content we put out on this channel. So please do not forget to like this video and also share to everyone who you think need this video. Thank you so much, guys. I will see you in my next video. Bye.